Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. Quick shout out to my newest patrons, Bruce K and Marcus B. Thank you both for choosing to support the channel. First up today, happy birthday to Elon. Today he turns 51 years old, and it's now been 1 week since his last tweet. I'm hoping for his birthday he comes back to Twitter. I enjoy it much more when he is active, but I know some of you out there are happy that he's being quiet and just executing, so either way, happy birthday to Elon. Some Tesla shareholders are being notified that they can now vote for Tesla's annual upcoming shareholder meeting. They're given the materials via the broker where they hold their Tesla shares. Now, to be clear, not everyone has this available yet. I, for one, use Fidelity. I talked to them this morning. They do not yet have the proxy materials available. They said it could be as late as up to 1 week before the meeting, but as you can see on the screen, this is the step to check to see if your materials are available. Of course, these steps will look a bit different depending on the broker that you use, but worst case, if you can't find it, just reach out to your broker, tell them you're looking for the materials to vote for the Tesla annual shareholder meeting, and they'll direct you from there. As mentioned, I don't have my materials yet, but a Reddit user shared these proposals, saying that the board is recommending in favor of numbers 1 through 5, and they are against numbers 6 through 13. This user said that items 6 through 13 that the board is against were basically for annual reporting requirements on the topics listed. I won't read this anecdote to you of auto steer basically preventing an accident. However, just a reminder that all of this crash data that we're going to see in the years to come, just remember there's so much data like this that we will never see all of the accidents and lives that were saved from this technology, and it needs more people talking about it. One more reminder, not just Tesla owners, but to have your car checked for alignment and do tire rotations somewhere between every 5,000 to 10,000 miles so you can prolong the life of your tires and avoid situations like this. Some people are reporting that some Teslas come from the factory misaligned. I don't at all think this is a widespread problem for Tesla. Once again, just using this anecdote as a reminder to check your alignment and to rotate your tires to potentially save yourself a few bucks. Here we have Deutsche Bank dropping its Tesla price target to $1,125 from $1,250, and they've updated their expectations for quarter 2. They're now expecting 245,000 units delivered for the quarter. And they're now expecting earnings per share of $1.66, and the estimate is continually coming down, currently sitting around $2.04. They do mention the consensus delivery estimate of 287,000 units. That's the Bloomberg consensus. I believe FactSet is still around 273,000, and we'll get the Tesla compiled estimate sometime this week. All right, guys, here it is. This is your last chance to win a brand new 2022 Model S Plaid, thanks to the sponsor of today's video, Charity Stars. If you're new to the channel, Charity Stars is a fundraising platform that helps raise money for charitable causes. To enter the sweepstakes, just head to charitystars.com/electrified1500 and you will get 1,500 free entries with your purchase. This time around, donations benefit one tree planted, a company fighting deforestation by planting one tree for every $1 donated. Since 2014, they've planted over 40 million trees in 43 countries globally. And in terms of the sweepstakes, do I really need to say anything about the Plaid Model S? 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds, 396 miles of range, great storage, a screen for the back seat, and the list goes on. Both taxes and shipping will be included for United States winners, and this is a global sweepstakes. You can enter in a matter of seconds. Just head to charitystars.com/electrified1500, choose your donation level, enter a brief amount of information, and then you're in. So if you'd like to support a great cause, support the channel, and have the chance to win a brand new 2022 Model S Plaid, the link will be in the description below to get your 1,500 free entries. This was trending on Reddit and definitely needs some clarification. So somebody posted this and it says Tesla's supercharging network was 100% renewable for 2021. If you read, it says this 100% renewable was achieved through a combination of on-site resources and annual renewable matching. Going to page 69 of Tesla's impact report, the global supercharger network was 100% renewable in 2021, achieved through a combination of on-site resources and annual renewable matching. Additionally, all home charging in California was 100% renewable through annual renewable matching. Therefore, only emissions from the use of Tesla vehicles were a result of home charging outside of California and use of third-party charging networks. I believe that this annual renewable matching has to do with the REC market renewable energy certificates. Here's the easiest way to think about this. Let's just say that Tesla has a solar farm that generates 10 megawatt hours of renewable energy every year. They would then earn 10 RECs or renewable energy certificates that are basically attached to those 1 megawatt hours of renewable energy. The reason being, the energy that actually is put into the grid, you can't really tell where you're getting your energy from. Is it from a renewable source or a non? So these RECs are a way to track and substantiate the actual renewable energy that is being generated. And whether it's solar or wind or some other renewable energy source, for every 1 megawatt hour generated, that will earn or generate 1 REC. Right from the EPA, RECs play an important role in accounting, tracking, and assigning ownership to renewable electricity generation and use. These RECs substantiate renewable electricity use claims. Many states have RPS or Renewable Portfolio Standards, meaning utility companies or other organizations have standards that they have to meet in terms of generating power from renewable sources. So if they can't do that locally, then they can buy these RECs from other companies that are producing this clean energy. So here's a hypothetical example. Let's just assume in 2021, Tesla's Supercharger network in America used 500 megawatt hours of energy from the grid. Now, let's say that on site, Tesla had enough solar and wind to generate around 300 megawatt hours of energy. So Tesla would then need to make up that 200 megawatt hours of energy from renewable sources if it's not generated on site. Tesla could then make up that 200 megawatt hour gap to say it's 100% renewable in two main ways. First, it could buy these RECs from other companies, or it could take some of the RECs that it's earning from producing renewable energy elsewhere. So very simply, anywhere that 1 megawatt hour of renewable energy is generated, a REC is attached to it, and then that REC becomes sellable and tradable in this REC market. So yes, with this annual renewable matching, technically Tesla can say that its supercharging network was 100% renewable. However, in all actuality, the real energy being pulled from the grid at these superchargers is definitely not from 100% renewable sources, at least not yet. Back in 2017, Google announced that its purchase of energy from sources like wind and solar exceeded the amount of electricity used by its operations around the world. This is the matching system. For every kilowatt hour of electricity we consumed, we purchased a kilowatt hour of renewable energy. Remember, this was a few years ago. However, at the time, they said our renewable energy contracts have led to over $3.5 billion in new capital investment around the world. It looks like there will be a new trial between Tesla and Mr. Diaz in this racial discrimination case. This was a situation in which Mr. Diaz was awarded $137 million, but Tesla was able to fight that and get it reduced to $15 million, but Mr. Diaz did not accept that. So there will be a new trial, date TBD, but there will be a conference on July 12th. It looks like Volkswagen is set to sell a minority stake of its Electrify America charging network to Siemens, the technology giant who is involved in EV charging as well. This is to raise additional funding as part of the plan to more than double the number of EV charging stations that Electrify America operates in the United States and parts of Canada to 1,800 by 2026. EA also offers EV charging stations for use at home. And real-time update, we get a press release from VW saying that this investment seems to be official and there will be a $450 million equity investment supporting EA's expansion in the United States and Canada. And this deal will indeed value EA at $2.45 billion. And important to note, this $450 million investment is from Siemens and VW together. They do say that from Siemens' end, it's a low triple-digit million US dollar investment, and they will hold a seat on the board. Some of you asked me why BYD isn't really profitable, and this chart is a great place to start. This is from Moneyball on Twitter. You can see that from January to May of this year, around 50% of BYD's total sales were under 150,000 RMB, which is equivalent to 22,300 US dollars. So half of BYD's sales sell for under 23 grand. Then looking at this next chunk of 25% of sales falling in this neighborhood, which goes up to only $29,800. So basically BYD only has 23% of sales through the first 5 months of this year, coming in at more than 29,800 US dollars. So for starters, this really isn't a great company to compare to Tesla, who is currently playing in the luxury market. Through the first 7 months of last year, BYD's average selling price was $23,400. Tesla's is closer to the neighborhood of $55,000. It's also important to note BYD is just now starting to export some of its hybrid vehicles overseas. To date, most of its sales have stayed in the local Chinese market. And in March of this year, BYD did sell 104,800 NEVs. However, about half of those were pure BEV and another half were plug-in hybrid. Motor Trend got some time with the new Cadillac Lyriq that is set to have a 102 kilowatt hour battery pack to deliver an EPA estimated range of 312 miles. This is not meant to be a performance vehicle, as the 0 to 60 is said to be around 6 seconds, but this is really built to be a smooth, quality, quiet, luxury type of ride. The Lyriq is set to start at $62,990. So all of the Mary Led and GM nonsense aside, just in a vacuum looking at this car, do you guys like it? Herbert Diess now telling his employees to capitalize on this time to take advantage of Elon's woes. So to be fair, these comments were to employees, and this is just part of rallying the troops and trying to infuse some optimism in the workforce. However, he said, Elon is simultaneously ramping two highly complex factories and expanding production in Shanghai that will cost him strength. He said, we have to seize this opportunity to catch up quickly. By 2025, we can be in the lead. In terms of the race right now, VW is planning to sell 700,000 electric cars globally this year, and Tesla should be in the neighborhood of 1.5 million. This is actually kind of funny. Diess said that Tesla was weakening, and apparently in his presentation, this meme was included of Tesla about to get tackled by Volkswagen, so you have to laugh at stuff like that. And don't forget, it was just a few days ago Diess was saying how surprised he was at how prepared Tesla is and how fast they're moving, and these comments really do seem more of a motivational tactic. I obviously don't agree with him, but it's interesting to watch it unfold. Ford set to recall 2,900 F-150 Lightnings because of a failure to warn you of low tire pressure. Dealers will update the body control module software for undelivered vehicles, and customers who want the remedy immediately, a fix that takes 20 minutes. Ford will also have the software update available over the air in 30 days for current customers. There are some rumors that a third shift will be added to Giga Berlin as soon as July 4th. That would take the factory to operate 24 hours a day, 6 days per week, but let's just wait and see if this comes to fruition. This is definitely disheartening, as Hyundai and Kia were both starting to build some momentum in the EV space. Now their offices are being raided. There are suspicions that these companies put over 210,000 diesel vehicles with illegal defeat devices on the road. We've seen this story play out before. The engine software is thought to have come from parts company Bosch, and authorities searched business premises at 8 properties in Germany and Luxembourg. A spokesperson for Hyundai confirmed the raids and said the company was working with the authorities. Don't forget to check out Charity Stars linked below for the chance to win that Plaid Model S with your 1,500 free entries. Please like the video if you did. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters.